This challenge completely changed the way I see my art. I know this sounds dramatic, but hear me out, because if you've ever felt like you're trying to do the work, trying to post and trying to keep up with everything, wondering if this is even working, this one's for you. Hi everyone, I'm Aurélie, I'm a lettering artist and I host this thing called the Lettering Style Challenge. It's 31 days, you got 31 prompts, anyone can participate and all you have to do is create a lettering artwork every day. Now, this challenge is all about pushing yourself creatively and trying out different styles that you wouldn't normally think of doing. And the whole idea behind this challenge is to do the work that you wish you would be hired for. So creating work that you would potentially like to see hanging on your wall or maybe printed on a book cover. This challenge is not about getting thousands of views, thousands of likes on your work. It's not about going viral, but it's about getting better at what you do. In this video, I'm going to be wrapping up my challenge. I participated as well and did the 31 prompts. I'm going to show you the full lineup. And I also want to tell you all the behind the scenes, everything that I have done, a little sketchbook tour as well, and also show you all the prompts I decided to print. But before we get into it, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who participated. There was so many entries this year, it's insane. Everyone did such an amazing job and I was just so amazed to see how everyone was interpreting the prompt so differently. It's always so amazing to see. Even if you didn't participate and just watched or commented or liked any of the posts from anyone, thank you for your support. And if you're thinking that you've missed out, don't worry, because next year the challenge will happen again. First of all, I wanted to share with you what I have learned during this challenge, because every time I do a challenge like this and commit to doing 31 pieces in 31 days, I always come out with some sort of new wisdom at the end, something that I have learned and that I have realized. And what I've really learned this year is that progress really doesn't come from trying to reach perfection. It comes from doing the work many times without trying to make it perfect. You will see improvement if you keep showing up, if you keep practicing, if you keep trying out new things and experimenting, even when you don't see the result straight away. And to give you an example, with this challenge, I tried to focus on getting better at what I do. I tried to focus on improving my technique for combining illustrations with lettering and also making my work look more like a real environment with real objects and real lighting and something like super realistic with like colors that look really believable. And I know for a fact that I've put so much work in my art that the quality has improved. No matter what, I got better at what I was trying to do than last year. And it's funny because, for example, the prompt Purple Rain, which was my very first prompt, I spent so much time on it. I was so happy with the result. It looked exactly how I wanted it to look. And yet, it did not get that many views. It didn't get that much engagement. And there's so many reasons for that. It could be that maybe the hook wasn't the right hook, maybe the song got blocked, maybe the reel wasn't as entertaining, maybe it's been done before and nothing is new, and maybe the song did not resonate with people. There's just so many things, but that is not the point. The point is I was making work that really felt like me, that I was really proud of, and it didn't reach as many people as my previous challenge. Like my challenge last year when I did characters from animated movies, it got so many views. It attracted so many people. Like every time I was posting a reel, it got over 100,000 views each time. Multiple videos reached over 1 million views. It went viral. Like I was so happy about it. But the thing is, when I had done this challenge, I focused on making the reels that would go viral. I was trying out different things. Like I was trying to do something that would get the views. That meant that I wasn't so much focused on doing the work that I loved. And I wasn't so focused on trying to define my style as much, if that makes sense. I was trying to do the things that I knew people would love instead of doing the thing that I knew I would love. And is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? You guys can tell me. But in saying that, I am so happy with the result this year. And even if it didn't get as many views, I am proud of the outcome. I am proud of the result. And this is the vision that I had in my head, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And also, something I wanted to add to that is that I definitely think the algorithm has changed, because I was looking back at this prompt, Watermelon Sugar. It's a song that I had designed back in 2020. So I had done like a little lettering piece for that one. And when I look at it, it's very simple, very basic. It's just a simple image, nothing crazy, no videos, no reel, no hook, no crazy caption, no hashtag. And this got over 1,400 likes. Whereas today, I post a reel for Purple Rain where I spend so much time on it. I make a reel, I work on the caption, I work on using the right hashtag, I work on having a story, I work on sharing value with the reel, and guess what? It doesn't get as many likes. Does it mean that my work is worse? No. Does it mean that it's harder to reach people online on social media these days? Possibly. So never feel bad if you don't get as many likes, and I will keep trying to post stuff online. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but you have to keep that in mind. Keep that into consideration whenever you post. Things have changed. It's not that simple anymore. This doesn't mean that your work is not getting better. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Now, before we get into a little sketchbook tour of the prompts, I wanted to just mention one thing. One of my most favorite prompts from this challenge was toxic. And the reason I like it so much is because I feel like the illustration are almost just as important as the lettering, and they work so well together. Like, they obviously have a very high contrast, like they're very contrasted in texture, like one is mushroom and the other one is chrome, like the lettering is chrome and the mushroom is kind of soft and glowy, so they contrast but they work as one piece. And I love the colors, I think they work really well. I love the atmosphere, I love the little Easter eggs that I've added, the little rats, I think they work so well as well. And this is something I've tried so hard to accomplish with my lettering. This piece really worked, and I'm super happy with this one. And maybe that's one of the prompts that we get to do in my live lettering workshop. So as you guys know, I'm doing a live session where I'm going to share the process for one of the prompts, and you guys get to choose which one you want to learn. So that could be the one. You can vote on my Instagram right now. So if you look at this post right there, you can comment which artwork you want to see. But I think, yeah, this one could work. Any other one where the illustrations are kind of very well combined with the lettering, and they're not like just sitting next to the lettering and added afterwards, if that makes sense. And also any piece where the lights kind of create an atmosphere and kind of give off like a feeling of warmth, or I don't know, something cool or a bit intriguing or spooky, whatever that may be. So yeah, that's one of my favorite prompts. I think the other favorite was probably Lavender Haze and Thriller and Purple Rain. Purple Rain was probably at the very top of the list because, I don't know, it's something I had been thinking about a lot before I did it, and I got to do it first, and I was just so happy. And I was like, even if I don't do any of the rest of the prompts, I would be glad I did the challenge just for prompt one. Anyway, guys, let's jump straight into a little sketchbook tour where I'm going to show you what my sketch look like. And trust me, they don't look that amazing at all. This is a sketchbook I ended up using. So it's called cast stone paper. So it's this very weird paper that's apparently made out of stone. It's very heavy, very cool to the touch. But I am not a huge fan, to be honest. It was the first time I used this type of paper, and it just feels very soft, and your pen just kind of sinks in all of the time, so it's a bit annoying. But I love the dotted paper. That's definitely my favorite. And what I like about the sketchbook is that it opens flat, but would I recommend it? Probably not, but you could use absolutely any sketchbook. This does not matter, but I had this one handy, so I just used that. So I'm gonna show you the first prompt, which was the Purple Rain. So I had started with my sketches here. As you can see, it's always very messy. No colors, just the vibe of what I'm going for, kind of like the style I want to achieve with the prompt. You can see that I'm not adding any details. A lot of the time you'll see that the left page is random bits and pieces, and then the right page is always a bit more of a refined sketch. I will show you the final on the iPad here. So I'm gonna try and not ramble too much, but like I said, this prompt, Purple Rain, was my favorite. It was the one that I did first, and I wanted to kind of incorporate all of my ideas into the very first one. I was so happy with it. I was like, yeah, I am done now. I don't have to finish the challenge. I'm happy with that. So after I had done this prompt, I actually got this idea of adding little Easter eggs. So for this one, I added a little caterpillar. So this is what I wanted to do with every single prompt. And I thought, okay, why not write all of my ideas so that I could go back and kind of pick through that list and kind of include those in future prompts. I always get this question, like, how do you find inspiration? How do you know what to do? And that's how I know. I write everything down. Every time I have an idea come up into my mind, I write it down. So I had this idea of like either adding fruits or little insects or animals or random objects. So I had like grapes, cherries, blueberries. I didn't do chestnuts, but I was kind of ticking off everything as I went through. I had insect like beetle, ladybug, birds, moths, things like that. And then for the objects, I had like moon or cream or feathers. Every time I had a new prompt, I would just go back and kind of see which one I wanted to do, and I would just pick for that list. Prompt number 2 was cherry pie. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because I made another video showing you cherry pie, and also Tainted Love, Electric Blue, and Lady Marmalade, Painted Black, and Strawberry Field. So all of those prompts I've already shown you guys in another video, but I wanted to show you this. I had this idea kind of like after 1 or 2 prompts to put them into frames, because that was my goal, to create artworks that would look painterly and that we would be proud to hang on the wall. Kind of like stepping away from, you know, the traditional graphic design lettering that's meant to be used on an album cover or a t-shirt. I wanted to be able to use that for an artwork, and that's why I wanted to play with the frames. The next prompt I haven't shown you guys is Sugar Sugar, and in this one I experimented with negative space. So you can see I had like the A being a star, which is so simple but effective. I like it. I think it's simple, it works. Probably one of my favorite. Like, it's a style that I absolutely love, like this torn paper thing, and I think the color are just simple, they work. Pink and green, you can't go wrong with that. Next one was Milkshake. I really love this one. I just love that the illustration turned out so cute. I wanted to have like a flower that looked like a fileteado flower, but a bit more realistic. So like a mix between something that looks real, but also has that very fileteado style. Next was Toxic, and I told you guys this one is probably one of my favorites, just because I love the colors. I love how the mushroom blend with the lettering, and I think there's just some type of rhythm to it that just works, and the colors work well together, the atmosphere. I like the chrome effect. I like the lettering at the end. I wasn't sure, like I spent so much time playing with that X and trying to make it very Y2K without overdoing it, and I think that just worked. And I love the little rats. I think they just work so well. They're so cute. Next was Sweet Dreams. And it's so funny because this one, it looks like I did that one quickly. For some reason, it looks simple, but I spent so much time on it. And that's because I didn't have like a specific plan. You can see on the sketches that it's very all over the place. Like, there's so many different ideas going on, like the ladybug, the bow. And at the end, I finished it and I removed the heart. I was like, no, it's not working. And I did not have it. And then went back the next day and was like, okay, I'll put the heart back. It's fine. Let's just go roll with it. Went with butterflies, and it turned out cool. Like, I really love it. I love the atmosphere, but you wouldn't think that I spent nearly 2 days on that one. I spent more time on this one than I wanted to, and I had to kind of do the next one very fast to make up for it. The next one is Tennessee Whiskey, and I like this one, but now that I look at it, I think it's a little bit dark, and I think the lettering could pop a bit more, but because there was so many letters, I didn't want to overdo it. I don't know, I think it could do with some improvements. I do love the roses though. I think they turned out so realistic, and the spider is definitely one of my favorite elements on this one. Next one is Hungry Eyes, and I love this piece so much. I think this is one that we could do during the live, because I think, again, the illustrations and the lettering are like combined into one single piece. The lettering works, it's visible, and there is light, there is atmosphere, and I love the actual meaning behind it, like hungry, and you've got like carnivorous plants, and I don't know, I just think this one just turned out the way I wanted to, and I really love it. Now, Hell's Bells was a cool one as well. I wanted those like poisonous flowers and kind of like a punkish style with different letter forms, and I think that turned out really cool. I didn't spend as much time on this one. I kind of rushed it a bit, but I think it turned out great. Still love how it looked, and I love the little spikes added to the letters. I think it looks very punk. Lavender Haze is, again, another favorite. I've probably told you that already, but I just love the koi fish. I had never drawn koi fish before, and I think they just work really well with the lettering, with the very rococo letter forms and the colors. I had this gold and this purple, so the yellow and the purple kind of complement each other. I love that it's kind of like in water, but the lettering is like floating, and you're not sure if the fish are like flying or in the water. I don't know, I just think it turned out really good. Celine actually came up with the idea. She chose this song. I did not choose a Taylor Swift song, but she said that there was koi fish in the video clip, so I was like, yeah, sure, let's go ahead, let's do that. And that's a cool way of kind of like finding inspiration. Sometimes you can ask someone else to kind of give you the inspiration, and you can ask them, what do you want me to draw? What do you want me to make? And that can be the start of something you're super proud of. Now, this one is not my favorite for multiple reasons. First of all, I don't know if I like the chilies. I'm not sure if I enjoy the lettering that much. Red and green is not really the type of color I normally go for. Most importantly, I did that prompt when my cat was at the emergency vet, so I was definitely not in the right mood for that one, but I kept going, kept pushing through, and did it, and I just love the little fireflies. I think they look cool. Yeah, it's a lettering piece that I had done ages ago. I'll put it on the screen so you guys can see, but I just recycled that lettering. I thought that would be a cool idea for the neon prompt, and that's what it looked like. Now, the prompt Poison is probably one that combines all of the things I love. It has black letter, which was the prompt. It has the song, which I really like, and I absolutely love the colors of the green and the purple and those flowers. I think they turn out great, and I love the bevel effect and the stone. So I was like, I'm gonna play it safe, and you can't go wrong with a black letter style bevel letter. So that's what I did, and it worked. And I really loved how, I don't know if you guys can see, but the letter is all green, but then I'm pushing the highlight so much into the like higher value, like so light, that it becomes the opposite. It becomes pink. So it's like I suppose a painting technique where you kind of make something look even more than white by kind of using the opposite color on the color wheel, so the opposite to the green, so pink for the highlight, which really gives a cool vibe. Wicked Game was the next prompt, and the prompt was flared serif, so that's why those serif at the bottom are like super giant, enormous. And I, again, kind of played it safe with this one. Like, I didn't go too crazy with the colors or the composition or even the elements. Like, I just added little bubbles and flowers. Again, the lettering is combined, but at the same time it looks like the illustration have been added afterwards. That's probably why it's not my top favorite, but still love the way it looked at the end. Now, I'm not gonna go over Thriller because I made an entire video on this one. You can see me draw the entire thing from start to finish, so make sure you check it out. But definitely one of my top 5 from this challenge. Now, Bohemian Rhapsody, it was one that I tried to do fairly quickly because it was getting towards the end of the challenge. I was kind of getting a little bit exhausted and tired, and I had done so many already, and I was like, okay, I need to rush and not spend too much time on it. So I still love the composition. I think it's kind of looked like an orchestra. That was the idea, and having the flower look like a gramophone kind of, and kind of make it look like it's kind of creating sound and making music. Now with Black Magic Woman, I wanted to really play with a lettering that was kind of taking the entire spotlight and was right at the center. So I created this multi-line because the prompt was multi-line. I created a multi-line for the inside of the letter, but then everything behind it is kind of like very bold, and I wanted it to be like a big piece, like a big magic woman. I don't know. And I added the black feathers, which I think really added to the piece. This one, Mystify, is my least favorite out of this entire challenge because I spent so little time on this one. I really rushed it. I was like, I just need to get something done. So I kind of reused the style that I had used for Aladdin the year before during my challenge, and kind of tried a textile effect again, but I just really did not have much time for this one. I was kind of running out of time, not gonna lie. Now with the prompt Espresso, it's funny because I need to tell you the whole story. I had another prompt in mind because, you know, from the very beginning of the challenge, I was doing kind of like older songs and not really doing recent songs apart from Taylor Swift. But I was like, I'm sick of not getting any views. I'm sick of like having all of my reels getting blocked. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna do a song that's super popular, and I'm gonna do a reel that's super catchy, and I'm gonna do a style that's super safe. And guess what? I mixed all of those ingredients, created a reel, and it nearly reached 1 million views. So that made me feel somewhat better because I was like, okay, I still know how to make a viral reel. But at the same time, I was a little bit sad because I was like, oh, this is still me, this is still my style, but this is not the style I was going for this challenge. It feels different, like it feels like it's a different piece from the rest. I still love it, I still think it's a great piece, but it did not have the same meaning behind it as the other prompts, if that makes sense. That reel, I think got viral because I really tried to do all of the things that I always tell my students to do. I'll play it up so you guys can see, but it starts with a very short hook where you can see me erase the lettering on the album cover. You can also see exactly what I'm gonna do. So even before you start watching the reel, you know exactly what I'm about to do. You know the song, you know something's gonna happen. So you wanna keep watching, and it's kind of intriguing because you're wondering, what is she gonna do? And then you see me doing the thing, you see me creating the strokes, and you want to see what it looks like at the end. If the result is what people wanted, if it's something that they liked, they're going to comment. And that's what's going to get into the algorithm. It's captivating the audience, retaining it, and then delivering. So it's the hook, the entertainment, and then the result. And that works every time. But does that mean it's what I wanted to do with this challenge? Not necessarily. And there we are, day 24 is when I was like, okay, I'm running out of time. I don't know if I can spend that much time on type treatment and doing effects, colors, highlights, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, I'll just keep it black and white and focus just on the shape of my letters, which is how I started lettering in the first place. Like when I started lettering and learning about lettering, when I started drawing letters for a living, that's what I was doing. I was not worrying about anything else. And I think that's how everyone should start at some point. Like even if you want to start right now with colors and stuff, there needs to be a step in your process where you just focus on the lettering and not anything else, making sure that this looks good, is easy to read, and the shape of your letter has a meaning as well. Material Girl was just black and white. It's meant to look like a diamond shape. Eclipse, which the prompt was Bauhaus, and it's so funny because everyone was like worried about what I was gonna do, like wondering what the heck is Aurélie going to do for that, because that's so not my style. And that's what I did. I think I managed to still do something cool, even though it's totally not my style. No flourishes here, but then that was my redemption. I could play with lots of ornaments and flourishes on this one. Maybe a little bit messy, but I was like, I'm having fun, okay? I'm just enjoying my flourishes. This one is super cool. I should definitely make this one a final piece. I will do it, I promise, whenever I get time, but I think I love the lettering. That's my definition of sexy lettering. Sexy letters. That's what they look like. Look at this R. With this prompt, Too Sweet, I wanted to do this like pixel thing that I did last year with the ugly sweater type of style of lettering, because that went so viral. So I was like, I'm gonna do the same thing again and experiment with flourishes, do something kind of cute with it. And I really love how it turned out. I will make sure to link the tutorial as well for you guys if you want to check that out. We're nearly there. Prompt number 30, watermelon sugar. Again, I used a lettering that I had done before, and I just wrote the word watermelon because that was the end. I was not only exhausted, but also running out of time. So I was like, I'll just keep it simple, and kind of made like a bamboo lettering for the prompt tropical. And last but not least, ampersand. I had fun with this one. I just added as many flourishes and filigrees as possible, made it a bit 3D. Love how smooth it turned out. Also, I know some of you will ask, so I'm using all of the brushes from my whimsical lettering toolkit. I'm only using a couple of them, but I will have them available in my live lettering workshop. So whatever I've used in the challenge, you'll have the brushes to do the live lettering workshop. So I think I'll be giving you guys about 5 brushes or something like that. So, and that's it. That's the entire challenge. 31 days, 31 prompts, 31 songs. I would like to print. I could print something on this one. This one. This one. I've got this one. This one. Why is this one not on the wall? Some Leonardo da Vinci. I could print something in here. Oh my god, already. Why is this here? This needs to go on the wall. And I got all of those tiny ones as well. So these are more paintings, but I can put some prints into the tiny ones. So these are all of the frames I'm going to get an artwork printed for. This one is square, so I'm thinking maybe the artwork painted black or something like that. These 4 are rectangle, so they can either go landscape or portrait. This one is a hard one, so I could put either espresso or material girl or anything that's like a heart shape from the challenge. And these 2 are kind of a weird format, so I don't know, I could put anything in there really, but I really want to take into consideration the actual frame, because I think that's going to impact the look. I'm gonna take a picture of all of that, and I will put the artwork in it just so I can see which one will fit best. I think one of the biggest traps of any artist today is measuring your work by how many likes it gets. But that number doesn't actually tell you anything about how much you've grown. The real measure of success is when you look at something you made and you feel proud of it. When you actually want to print it, frame it, and hang it on your wall. When you can see how far you've come compared to the artist you were before, that's real growth. That's progress. And you should only ever compare your work to your own, because at the end of the day, what matters most isn't how it performs online. It's that you love what you're creating and that you're genuinely happy doing it. So that's everything, guys, for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And if you have questions about the workshop or the challenge or anything that you want to ask me, as always, just let me know in the comments. I'm planning on doing a lot more videos, possibly 1 or 2 more before the end of the year. 2 tutorials. So guys, as always, this is a time to ask me your questions because they help me so much. They help me figure out what to teach, what to cover in my videos. So don't ever feel bad about asking questions. And also, I will hopefully see you all during the live lettering workshop, which happens on December 11th, 12th, and 13th. It will be 3 sessions so that we can work on each part separately and you have time to kind of finish off the homework before the next session. So first session is all about doing the lettering, making sure your letters are looking perfect. Session 2 is all about colors and choosing your color palette, making sure you have all of your elements and your composition is working properly. And then finally, in the last session, we'll go over how to add all of those highlights and sparkles and making sure everything has a nice atmosphere. So yeah, looking forward to seeing you in the live, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.